Yeah, we look good on this camera too, man. I think we solid, man.
For
We
sure.
solid. So, hey, man, welcome to the Upper Hand Podcast, dog. It's been a long time coming, man. It's been like quite a long time coming, and it really ain't been that long.
Let's give him a team of round of applause.
Maybe like. Maybe like 2 months out. I know y'all can hear him, man. We got my cousins in the building, man. We got Marvin, aka Yella.
What's happening?
We got my dog Medine, aka
Medine.
Yes, sir. Yes, you know what I'm saying. So yeah, man. I've been knowing these. I mean, they family. You know what I'm saying. I've been knowing them since I was a little boy. So it's funny how this is all kind of coming back around. Like it feels like it's like full circle right now. It's weird. We all are older now. We're in our 30s.
Yeah.
Some of us are well into our 30s.
Damn.
Yeah,
Just a little bit. You know,
all right, y'all helped the good podcast. Appreciate y'all. Call us old on this.
Right. Hey.
I ain't old. I'm seasoned. This is different.
That's how I look at it.
Yeah,
There's a lot of motherfuckers I went to high school with that didn't even make it a couple years out. So it's like,
feel me?
Hey, I'm 36 and I'm proud.
Right.
I don't give a phenom.
Right. No, straight up. You know what I'm saying? Channel E. I feel you. You know what I'm saying? Old ass shit. Yeah, man.
I'm right back.
Yeah. Hey, 36 though is funny, man, because I hit 30 and I was like, bro, it was like a whole nother. I woke up again. It felt like I graduated high school. Mm-hmm. Like literally, I woke up in my bed like
that 30 shit for
you
real.
know?
Like as you like, it's the new. Like being 30 now is like you can experience life with money now. Like, but if you still hold like your inner childhood in, I mean, it's an enjoyable 30s. Like I remember niggas getting out of high school and then 2-3 years later seeing them and be like, God damn, they look like they in their 30s already. And like your 21 ain't even hit you yet. You know what I'm saying? Like that. So I think a lot of people, it's what you was brought up in. Like I mean, I wasn't in the craziest household, but I ain't have it easy either. But and I would appreciate it, at least a roof over my head. But
that's a fact.
I think also it's like my relationships are better in my 30s because I know how to communicate better. I know how to be more mature and understanding of like different people's situations. And in my 20s, I was just so wrapped up in like what I wanted, my emotions and stuff. And now I think it's easier to build like long-term healthy relationships, which is more important than anything. So that's the best part about getting old. Yeah, like doing that.
Right.
No, it's also greater that you can feel confident in telling the motherfucker, fuck no.
Yeah.
Like now, because it's like I thought about it, like, and I got a good understanding on life to where it's like not everything that you say and do is always gonna be right. So I can stand firm on a lot of my decisions now at 30 in comparison in my 20s because I was uncertain.
Same, bro. That the power of no is like crazy. The weight that lifts off your shoulder when you like no. Yeah. Or I gotta go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And then no, genuinely, because I am now an adult and I have adult shit to do. Yep. Like I'm not just sitting there. But that's the difference between people who have things genuinely going on and they want to be better in life, and motherfuckers who just got something to preoccupy them. Like I don't want to be stagnant. I always want to be doing better, opposed to just sitting around. Because a lot of the times, who you around and the circle you around, that's how you become who you are.
No, for sure.
Like if you around a whole bunch of lazy, don't want to do shit moochers, then you can accidentally become an ain't shit moocher. And then you always make excuses, and it's like, nah, get up and go get it for yourself, because. Shit, ain't nobody gonna give it to you. Like,
that's a fact.
It's crazy.
It's funny because you say you always been on the up and up, right? And we had this conversation like off camera, but you always been like somebody that I remember, like one of my older cousins that I always was like, this nigga Marvin, you know what I'm saying? Like he doing it. I remember, bro, cause you pulled up in the blue Monte Carlo or whatever. Was it a Grand Prix?
Pontiac Grand Prix.
Two-tone. On like 20s, two-tone, I believe it was, bro. Like that. Candy. You feel me? And bro, I remember you picked us up from one of our other cousins' house. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? When we went to the McDonald's drive-thru. You know what I'm saying? And cuz was banging that Drake brand new. And I tell him every time, I'll never forget it, because at that moment, like so when you're so like, when you know that you're destined to like, you know you're not just gonna be some regular smuggler from the hood. Mm-hmm. And I always knew that as a kid. I always been different. I mean, bro, I got a Boot Barn hat on right now.
Oh yeah.
Different, right? Yeah. So when you see somebody else that's like striving to be better than where we come from, it's like, amazing. You know what I'm saying? And I'll never forget that, bro. Like, I always wanted to tell you. I always, you know what I'm saying?
Like,
I
appreciate it, but it's crazy because I was put in a position, like, people don't understand, like, I sold cars. First of all, I didn't start off selling cars. And I always tell people, like, my story and how I learned a lot of what I preach or try to, go about life is, like, it's crazy. Like, I started off washing cars at Audi at, like, as soon as I got out of high school, I applied for a couple different jobs, and that was the first job I got. And, washing cars and then going up in the ranks. But, I mean, I had to deal with adversity then, too. Like, and it's so good to actually talk about this now because, like, people don't really understand. Like, I work with a whole bunch of races, Hispanic people, and, like, you know what I'm saying? They would have me doing this and that. And, I love every race, but I hate when other races try to gang up on you and make you feel out of place.
Facts.
So it's like I'm being one of the only black people at Audi as a porter. And, washing cars, doing this, doing that, and they speak Spanish. And, being who I was, I knew a couple crazy words here and there. So I knew when they would be talking a little bit extra, ignorant, opposed to just on some, related messages. So it's like having to deal with that. And then, bruh, it was a point where I almost gave up. Like, I was ready to quit because they used to just treat me so bad. But crazy enough, I was blessed to then be transferred from, like, a porter on service with all these Hispanic people to being a sales porter. And then that pretty much put me in position to then become a salesperson and then go through everything I went through.
Right.
And it's crazy because it's like being around that atmosphere molded me into the person I am now.
Facts.
Because that wasn't just, niggas on the block chilling, kicking it, you know what I'm saying, talking about, how we gonna get this bread. It was like a very structured environment. So you kind of had a different perspective on life, like learning about credit and learning about, like, how people operated in that different atmosphere.
Right.
Brought a whole new perspective of what I was being taught outside.
Man,
you know
that's
what I'm saying?
good. That's
so
good.
It's like,
wow.
It really gave, like, when I would go back, like, where I would take a car, to go to lunch and stuff like that. Because I was cool with my manager. I always tell people, like, keep a good relationship with people no matter what. Because you never know who's going to fuck around and be your boss.
Never know.
Like, you just don't ever know, right?
No, bro.
But, like, so I always had the mentality, like, keep your relationships peak. You know what I'm saying?
That's good. And it speaks.
Yeah.
It speaks.
So, because I can go back to a lot of those places now and still go and get hired and stuff like that and not even think twice about it. Because time and time, but, I digress. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I, like, learning from that, it just really made me, like, realize, like, the world is very different and we are taught very differently.
Man.
Like, even
That's
from
funny.
us, especially, like, how you was brought up, I'm sure your experiences, your work experience and stuff made you have a different perspective on life. Same with you. We all brought up differently, but in the same fashion. Like, but people don't realize perspectives are a big thing. So it's like, you got to be somebody's yin and somebody's yang sometimes because
for sure.
We be, like, so invested in hearing bullshit all the time. It's like you don't really understand or you don't really trust certain people.
Yeah, and that's kind of you leading into literally what, like, the main topic is today. Like, your experiences, being black in the business world and in the black community, period.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you said, like you mentioned, you were taught credit at it. You learned credit, not even taught on purpose. You kind of just fell into it, right?
Yeah.
That's
like,
a real
literally.
blessing.
Like, and it just shows you that, like, you can never be closed-minded and, like, blessings are, like, just, a phone call away.
Exactly.
like, or even,
for real.
just somebody, like, having a conversation. Like, you never know having a conversation opens so many doors. And, like, even with that, like, going from being a porter, like, how I transitioned from sales porter to selling cars was even crazier because I was at an event. And just talking crazy, talking
being you.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, I didn't know this dude. His name's Steve Kwok. I don't know if he's still one of the head managers for AutoNation or what, but at this time, he walked past me and he was like, "How you doing, man?" And we kind of had a chit chat back and forth. And he was like, "I like your personality. You should sell cars." And just freestyling. I was like, "Hell yeah, I'll sell some." I was like, "Matter of fact, give me that tie off your neck right now. I'll sell the shit out of cars." And I'm not knowing who this guy is, right? I'm just like, "Hey, well, shit. If you give me an opportunity, I'll do it." So not knowing, like 2 weeks later, he comes back to our dealership because when he seen me, we was at the Orleans, they used to have like these off-site sales. And literally, that's why I didn't know who he was.
Right.
So then he comes to our dealership, and then he sees me in car wash clothes. And literally, he looked at me perplexed, like, why are you selling cars? Right. I mean, or why are you washing cars? I really want you to sell cars. And I was like, oh, I thought you was playing.
Right.
Like, and him and my GM went to lunch, and it didn't go. My GM came back and was like, hey, Steve really wants you to sell cars. And I was like, okay. He was like, we'll talk about it next week. And it didn't go from talking to it. He literally was like, he put me on the sales shift next week.
Right.
So I literally went from washing cars to having that conversation like 2 weeks later, and then boom, now I'm selling cars.
And that's funny because that's how quick it can happen. Shout out to Steve, by the way. Shout out to Steve, bro. Wherever Steve at, salute to you, because a lot of people that's not in our culture won't do that.
Yeah.
They won't, because I know he wasn't there. His last name was Kwok.
Yeah.
He said, hey.
He's a Chinese man.
Hey, we can take there.
Yeah.
A lot, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of them won't, they won't put that hand down.
They won't.
You feel me? They won't do that. And when they do, it's powerful, bro, because like, for example, you got it all, right? You learned all that. You can pass it on to our people, you know what I'm saying? Or people who don't know. Not even just our people that just are ignorant to the fact of certain things, right? Bro. So I feel like there's so much to unpack there, you know what I'm saying? Like
100%. Like a lot of you, like you learn so much about things in your environment, and I think people don't, for one, us especially, I don't think we're put in those positions on a regular basis.
Right.
So it's hard to be optimistic about them happening to you. And then secondly, when it does, a lot of us don't handle it properly because it's like, oh, what the fuck? I ain't never been here before, and I ain't got nobody who I look at that's relatable. You feel me? Like, I'm looking at all these, Caucasian people and, all these other people thriving because in their communities, in these situations, they working together.
Yeah, that's normal. That's normal.
The white guy Bob and Billy, they work deals together and they're happy about it because they like, we're gonna make another deal. And then you got the Hispanic people, you know what I'm saying? Just out there grinding, you know what I'm saying?
And that's another thing.
Getting it.
That's another thing. Like, like we're so emotional, right? Like, I feel like everything that we do, we're just so emotional, right?
I tell him all the time.
We're emotional as humans, period. But then as black people, right? We're just so emotional. Like, everything's so driven off of emotion, right? But we don't have to agree on nothing.
Absolutely.
But if we coming together for the better of us, like if you're gonna get something good out of it and I'm gonna get something good out of it, let's put our differences aside real quick. You know what I'm saying? You might eat chow mein that night. You know what I'm saying? I might eat fried chicken that night, right? Yeah. But it's like, hey, we coming together and we gonna get this bag, right? And we gonna give it back to our people and bring us up, right? So I don't wanna skip over Medine, you know what I'm saying? I know you got a lot too, cause like as a young kid too, you always been another cousin that I was like, man, Medine is different. I used to be, because I'm in, I used to get, do my little drugs, whatever, you know what I'm saying? I don't do it no more. But, you know what I'm saying? I used to be in the back, you know what I'm saying? Me and Solomon, rest in peace, Solomon, man. Like, we used to be in that back room, man. A lot of memories happen in that back room. If y'all don't know, my cousin Solomon, Medine's little brother, man, he was one of the ones that put me onto music at a young age, like super young, you know what I'm saying? And he was another one. I remember he had all the equipment, and I used to be like, yo, it's this. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you and Solomon, y'all had like this, bro, we can just go do it. Yeah. That's where I got it. That's where I got it from.
Solomon, that was one of the coldest places to kick it at.
Man.
I always used
to was there too. You know what I'm saying?
The tree houses. Like, when you pulled up to their house, it was like an adventure, bro. Like,
right. It's like homecoming. Bro. It was like a homecoming, bro.
That's, as kids,
real talk.
That's what we needed. Like, everybody, especially little black kids, we all had a cousin who, like, we go to their house and we get it cracking. And that's where it was at.
Yeah,
like, I'm talking about, I can't rap, but I can rap.
Right.
And I learned that over there.
That was the whole, right? You walk in there, you like, nigga, hold on. You said what?
Yeah.
Solomon in the corner with the keyboard, like, come on, cuz. Like, we about to get it, bro. Didn't care.
Yeah.
Had no did not care what people thought. Yeah. And that's what I always respected about Solomon, bro. Yeah. Solo always gave me that confidence. Like, nigga, nah, Keem, you could rap. Yeah. You could make beats, right? Whereas other people, you too, you always had that saying, because y'all are from the same cloth. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all, Jonas, your big brother.
Yep.
salute to Jonas, another black entrepreneur that I remember, man. Like as a kid, I'm like, cuz got a whole shop.
Yeah.
Few of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's doing it. You feel me? Like, so yeah, like coming in that, growing up, you know what I'm saying, Medine, Solomon, man, going over there, that was such a blessing. Cause like where I came from, like, like that was like an outlet. I was able to like be myself, right?
Yeah.
It was like a free, like a free zone.
And the thing about that, thank you for saying all that, because I appreciate you. And the thing about all that is that what I realized is that a lot of it, as I got older, I figured this out. It came from my pops. Like, people have this term super religious, and it has a negative connotation to it. But my dad really made it cool to be religious because, growing up strict Catholic and all of that, usually you have an ideology about how that looks or like how that kind of comes across.
Right.
But he just wore it different. Like he wore it to where he made you feel comfortable in your own skin. He didn't care where you coming from, what you believed in and all that. And he really set the culture for like that accepting kind of attitude, you know? So I took that, and really now, like as I've gotten older, I've come to appreciate all the things you said. Jonas and his barbershop, Solomon and his music, rest in peace. Yep. But yeah, now it's coming to the point now where I do see that the value of the foundations he laid. Right. So yeah, no, definitely. I appreciate it, and now it's taking it to the next level because he came from Africa, and got here in '83. We had no spears and nothing like that. Because I knew he was gonna, I was waiting.
He had to figure it out.
I was waiting for a second.
I was gonna let you speak your
Oh, wow.
Hey, I swear, every time I used to see Solomon, that was my boy, dude.
Yeah.
I used to
Right.
every time I seen him, it was like, how are you doing today?
Right.
But being ignorant, but I mean, it was just love.
It was always love.
That's where we come from. That's what I'm saying.
Lost that ability to actually like show that, and even though we different, like shit, I don't give a fuck about how black and African this motherfucker is. That's my cousin. You feel me? Like, you know what I'm saying? He was brought up different. Yeah. Perspective is very much a growth like factor. Like everybody is gonna see things differently, and you can't be upset about that. Nope. Yeah. But like you said earlier, like I always talk to him, like emotional like decisions are vital to your growth because like people don't, especially black people, like they be so fucking quick to take. As soon as you got an attitude, oh well, I'm taking that opportunity away from me. Yeah. No, he's like, a hostile.
Bro, like what is that?
Like no, bro. Bro, when I got fired from my last job, and that's why right now, like it's so, like more than ever, I encourage people to go for your goals, entrepreneurial wise, like because the worst that can happen is it not work out, and you can go back to a regular if you choose to, but. Man, after experiencing how easy you can put in time for another company and they can rip the fucking life plug out of you and just be like, nah, we don't get like, bro, I worked for this company for 5 years and walked in and they fired 17 of us, and it just was the craziest shit. Bro. And then when instead of being the nigga that just be like, man, fuck that, I'll shoot this bitch up. I took my badge off and I'm like, I'm out of here.
Happily.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And then they label me as being hostile. Like, what more do you fucking want
I'm out.
To do?
Nah,
you
and that's gonna happen. And that's gonna happen.
And then you let me do at least 2-3 hours of worth of work, and you knew you was gonna fire me, motherfucker.
That's the crazy part. So check this out, bro. I learned that at a super young age, man. Like I was like 16, 17, right? And I realized my pops, working man. He's an immigrant, straight from Guam, came out here, you know what I'm saying? Got to it. 17 years old, 10 brothers and sisters, you know what I'm saying? Pops is gone. He doing it, right? That's why they call him Chief. Shout out to my pop. I love you. But he worked at this job for like 20 years, bro. 20 years. Like, I remember like putting in work. I'm talking about phone on the hip, chirping. He's the guy that they calling, right? Jesse, all this, right? He worked there for 20 years, bro. Put in so much work, bro. And I remember one day he told me that they hired a company had acquired the company that he works for, and there was a guy that was like he was training, right? So Pop showed him everything, bro. I mean, from the router to everything he needed to know to do this job. He showed it to him. As soon as he like was good and knew everything, they fired my pops, bro. No, nothing. Serious? No severance.
So he trained him up, and then he ended up replacing him.
Bro. And I grew up in this company. Like I know the owners by name, by first name. You feel me? Like, and it was that quick. So I knew at a young age, right, that I was like, oh, they don't. If you don't make for yourself, nobody's gonna. You know what I'm saying? If you don't make for yourself, they're not gonna give it to you, bro. Okay. Especially you not. Period. Anybody, but especially you being a different culture, they're not gonna look out for you. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna let you go, and they kick pops to the curb. So I learned quick. I was like, oh yeah, and it might have been a part of my downfall. It made the early journey a little rough. You know what I'm saying? Entrepreneurship early is.
Yeah, but I mean, you gotta learn it, because if you never learn it, you'll never be able to get through it. Like, or when you do go through it, you gonna give up and you ain't gonna never see it through.
Right.
And that's what I feel like a lot of us don't go through. Yep. We go through it, but we don't get through it. Yep. So it's like you gotta.
That's good. You gotta hold on. He said we go. Say that
I told you I rap a little
bit. He said we go through it. What'd you say? We go through it, but we
don't never get through it. So it's like. You gotta at least go all the way in. You feel me? And give it your all before you can at least giving people advice about what they should and shouldn't do. Because it's like, well, you didn't finish it either. So how are you to tell me how I should run my life? Because your perspective of how you handle your situation obviously didn't work out for you. So who am I to copy and paste?
Man,
you know what I'm saying? So that's weird that people be like emotionally invested for you to be a failure.
Yeah.
Like, bruh.
Crazy. Like, that's sad. That's sad, bro.
Yeah. But that's something that's crazy. That lives in our culture. Man. And I think it's unintentional, but it's so normal.
It is.
And it's scary. And that's why I'm so cool being away into myself. Right. Because like I don't mind brings up all this, bullshit and things anyway. So at least when I'm going through that, I'm dealing with it, and I can deal with it myself. Right. I ain't got to worry about nobody putting 2 cents on top of already being
cluttered. All that clutter
so it's
is
like,
gone.
Yeah, sometimes you have. That's part of maturing. Is like being able to handle situations on your own, especially emotional situations.
Man, that's good.
Because that's you deal with them on a daily basis.
I think when it comes to the emotional situations you talking about, like the way that you walked out, like that was, that shows a lot of, maturity, and they didn't know how to really react to that. You want to know a trick I learned?
What's that?
That about, like, when you go through something really emotional and someone pisses you off, they say take 3 days to respond. Because in 72 hours, you can, like, fully process everything in your system to, like, get to a point where you can give a thoughtful, not, balanced response. And so, I
that's good.
I rarely do that.
That's good, because I know it's hard to say, right? But that's the word.
Yeah.
Be slow to speak.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You gotta be slow to speak. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that I didn't grow up being slow to speak. You know what I'm saying? My mama was, as soon as she thought of something, boom. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, as soon as she thought of something, she was never slow to speak. That's something that I'm working on as a parent, as an adult, as a functioning, you know what I'm saying, human being, right? You gotta be slow to speak. You know what I mean?
But I'll give you credit on one thing, Akeem. Like, setting this up and having this opportunity to talk like this, like, you can really, you can get a little loopy out here just trying to, especially being in Vegas and so many other factors. But when we're able to, like, when I got back around him and we started kicking it again, and then even you, like, earlier this year, like when we started talking, like, I don't know, there was something that just kind of aligned back up in my head. I was like, damn. Like, I forgot, like, like, about who I am, where I come from, like, because you can start getting hopped up off Mountain Dew out here and really just, so.
Baja Blast.
You know what I'm saying?
A lot of Baja Blasters out here.
That's a fact. A lot of capping going on. Yeah. You feel me? Like, I'm a DJ, bro. Like, so I done seen it all. You feel me? I done seen it all, bro. Like, everybody be lying. I've always been like, in high school, though, I used to be like, nigga, you're good at football now, but my nigga, in 10 years, where the fuck you finna be at? I literally used to think like that. Like, bro, it's cool to be cool in high school, but when you out of high school, where you finna be? And that's always been right. I always had an old soul. So when I approached, and I wanted to get what you were talking about, because you were talking about, like, when you're in a situation, right, and you're going through it, instead of just man, fuck it, and just putting on them blinders, right? Because sometimes we just be like, fuck it, I'm gonna put my head down until I get through this. I'm gonna close my eyes, and then I'm about to, all right, we out of it, right? Instead of doing that, bro, you gotta figure out, what can I learn from this?
Yeah.
What? Because I feel like God's gonna keep putting them obstacles in front of you until you like pass it 100%. You feel me? I'm
gonna tell you, like, with my whole sales experience, bro. Like, I did horrible. Like my first month, bro, I ain't sold nothing. Not one piece of car. Like, it was horrible. But see, and that was the thing. That was where I had to make the decision.
Right.
And I was also pulled back in, and my GM was like, "Hey, look, I see like you're struggling. It's might not be your lane. You know what I'm saying? I can give you one or two options." He was like, "I can either write you up because of your performance," and he was like, "It's just life, you know, or I can make you a porter again, and you can go back to doing what you're doing." And so I was like, "Give me like 10 minutes," and bruh, I don't give a fuck about nobody's feelings. I went outside and I cried.
Right.
I cried for like 5 minutes, and I looked up at the sky and I told myself, I said, I can go back to being regular again, or I can either get through this and, you know, be better. And I went back in. I was like, well, fuck it, write me up. And I did it for another 7 years.
Right. Right there, you broke it. Right there, you broke a generational curse, bro. Yeah. I used to have problems with getting written up in school. I used to be like hot, like, bro, you finna write me up? Man, write me, I'll give it. You know what I'm saying? Like, but on some like, the energy was like, I don't care, nigga. I'm about to do it again. Like, and until y'all, you know, that was like my whole energy. Yeah. But it's crazy because it's like in that moment you were like, man, write me up, and you finna take this little whooping, you know what I'm saying? This little L, and I'm gonna learn from it. And be better from it.
Bro,
that's good. Like,
some people run away from adversity.
Exactly.
And I knew that it was like I could go back to being regular or just being the person that complains and bitches on, like, damn, I don't make enough. Mind you, I work salary. Right. So for anybody who ain't never worked salary, if you don't sell, you don't eat. Right. So imagine a whole month of no paycheck. You feel me? It's just like it turns you into either a wolf or a sheep. You know what I'm saying? I was
make it happen.
You know what I'm saying?
Gotta make it happen.
I was like, either they gonna coddle me and protect me as a sheep, or I'm gonna be a wolf and I'm gonna go out there and find my own and, you know, eat. And, you know, and I was hungry and I was like, so I wasn't the best, but I definitely was better than I was when I first started. Right. And that was my goal, is to be better than I was when I started, so nobody could say that you was just horrible at any job. Like, no, I'm gonna show you. But my passion wasn't in it. I was kind of groomed into being a salesperson because of the perception, like, oh, making all this money, and then seeing all these other people, and it's like, oh, and, you know, you got a great personality, but then when you in that lifestyle and you see, like, damn, the turnover rate of people in this motherfucker, like, it'd be before I became a salesperson, I seen at least 50 salespeople come and go. So I was like, God damn, like, I don't know if doing this is really that. So, you know.
I got a question for you. Do you feel like it has to be built into you being a sales? I mean, no, I should say, do you feel like you have to be born with that and you have to have a gift for it, or do you think that anybody could be a salesperson?
I feel like you can do anything. You just have to have the passion for it. Like sales, first of all, life is sales. Yeah. Like, and I learned that in sales, because sitting in front of a stranger all day, going back and forth, chit-chatting, small talking, like, they become more and more comfortable with you, and eventually they will buy something from you. Yep. And that's with anything. Like, we all gotta buy things and sell things, and it's all about the connection with who we buy and sell with on what if your transaction goes through. So, like, if you giving somebody a shitty attitude and if you're not a people person, you're not gonna thrive in that, because you have to do a lot of small talk. Like, bro, I talk about things that I had no interest in or didn't know anything about. Yep. However, I learned that people like to hear themselves talk.
Yeah.
So when I learned that, I would be like, oh, well, tell me more. Because I don't have fucking nothing to talk to you. I don't have anything to say without sounding like a retard.
That's a fact, bro.
So that's one of the things, like, you learn to be a little bit more of a bullshitter. But at the same time, like, I'm not just there as a space filler. I'm there to make sure that this transaction goes through and on to the next. It was a building block, and it gave you patience.
I feel like everybody needs to go through a sales, like a sales training or something, bro. at some point in their life, because it opens up. I was a salesman at T-Mobile for like 3 years. I learned so much about myself in that time, bro. I'm like, what? Like, I'm talking to people that I normally wouldn't talk to. I'm learning Spanish. I'm over here eating tortas, you know what I'm saying, with the homegirl. I'm like, you know what I'm saying?
Shout out to the tortas.
Hey, shout out to the tortas. You feel me? I just was learning, bro. Sales will really, because it puts you, that's another thing, bro. Like, you got to get uncomfortable to grow. And sales is super uncomfortable. Like, God. Dang,
but you know what else? Sales is racist too.
Oh yeah.
Like, because what I learned in the car business was they were quick to be like, "Hey Marvin, go talk to that black person."
Yep.
But they wouldn't say go talk to that black person. They just be like, "Hey, you see that customer over there? I feel like you'd be able to connect with them."
That's crazy.
That person black.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
Just say that. I've always been so open. Like, I don't know about anybody else. Racism is funny to me because I don't find it offensive.
See?
Because I have so much confidence in myself. Can't nobody tell me nothing that's gonna make me uncomfortable. So black, N-word with a heavy ER with cheese. I don't give a fuck about none of that. That shit don't make me no never mind. Like, it don't, like, because I didn't come out, neither one of you. My parents at home and in heaven. So like, I'm not worried about anybody judging me, and sales really taught me that because I had to go through racism. Even unintentional. Matter of fact, I had a dude tell me, I had a dude come in. He was an old white guy. I swear, I can't even make this story up. He comes in, and I could tell he was racist. I can look at racism. I know it. My racism is tingling.
Straight up, nigga start itching like, God damn.
So as soon as he walked in, like, I was like, "Hey sir, can I help you? How can I assist you?" And he was like, "No, I'm fine. I'm okay." And I was like, "Ain't this a bitch? He don't want to work with me." So now I'm at the point to where, like, oh, I'm the only salesperson here, so you finna talk to me. So I'm like, no, I can assist you. And he's like, no, I'll wait. So now my homeboy's sitting over at his desk. He on the phone. This man walks to his desk while he on the phone and was like, excuse me. And he was like, "Can I help you?" And he's like, "Can you show me some cars?" And he was like, "Sure, I'm on the phone right now." And I was like, I come up behind him, I stand on the wall, and I'm like this. And he's like, "But Marvin, he's standing behind you, he can help you." And he turns around, I'm like, "I can help you still." He's like, no, I can wait. I'm like, "Yeah, fuck you." So when he literally wait for him to get off the phone, me and him meet in the hallway, and I'm like, "I'm telling you right now, the dude racist." And he was like, "Really? You think so?" I'm like, "Bro, I know so." I was like, at this point, I'm begging the motherfucker, "Can I help him?" And I'm getting in trouble because my manager's looking at me from his office like, "Go help that customer." And this is what's crazy. Like, I'm in trouble because he racist and I want to help him. See how the world works? That's
how it works. That's how it works.
So then fast forward, they go on a drive and stuff, and he comes back. I kid you not, bro. He looked at me. He was like, "Yeah, no, you was right. He definitely don't like black people." He said he didn't want to help you, or didn't want help from you because you look like you voted for Obama. I said, "What?" That is a crazy statement to make. Like,
crazy work.
Like, whether I did or didn't, for you to just judge me based off of that, you didn't even ask me. You just said like,
and that's the thing.
Like, he likes fried chicken with hot sauce. I know it. I can like,
that's prejudice. That's how prejudice works. That's how it works, man. That's prejudice. Literally prejudice, and that's the thing. I'm like, growing up, right? That kind of was instilled in me, right, as a young kid. Some of us didn't get it as black kids. We didn't get that part. Like, my mom was super aware of her blackness and made me super aware of my blackness, right? And it's kind of to a fault because I'm in my 30s learning to be black. Like, just be you. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what I'm doing, right? But as a kid, I was taught to, like, not to be, like, afraid of your blackness, but, like, yo, just be aware that you are black.
You bring intimidation.
And they gonna look at you. They gonna come at you different, especially being a black man.
Yes.
My mom was a single mom, you feel me? Like, so she was trying to mold up these boys, right? You know, and I'm like, damn. And that's another thing, like, you gotta be of the culture to understand. Sometimes people be looking, I'll be like, cause I'm mixed, right? So I can see from both sides. I can see outside. Like, I'll be like, I can see everything, right? And sometimes if you're not in the culture, people be thinking, well, these are like myths or like we're just making this shit up.
Yeah.
It's like you can't make this up, bro, until you actually feel that feeling of racism in your chest. You know that feeling I'm talking about? There's like a feeling that comes in your chest and you like
what the fuck
damn, what did I do? Yeah, like you start tightening up, like, damn, and you can either take that and be like and like start tripping and be what they want you to prove their picture of you, your stereotype, or you can do what you did. I can still help you, sir.
And I love living above that because they like they want us to act out of character because it's so easy to eliminate us from opportunities. Like, and people don't realize. That's why I hate getting around certain black people and they speak so highly of like, fuck them, this, that. It's like, I mean, I get what you like. I get what happened with our ancestors and stuff.
Right.
But you gotta let a lot of what in the past has gone, like let it go. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't forget it.
Right.
But like,
never forget.
Like, not just because Miss Billy back in 1850 was super racist, don't mean her great grandson is, and he's projecting it on me. Me and him might be cool as the other side of the pillow, but that is predetermined, or that's to be announced once me and him get to know each other.
Yeah, because just on the same side as that side, they got prejudices, right?
Yeah,
we do too. In our own culture, bro. Like you said, you're light skinned, I'm light skinned. I done fought more black people than I fought white people. I'm gonna be real. Like,
I'm full black. My mama just piss color.
You see what I'm saying? And my mama like you.
Just so people can see. Okay?
Right. Shout out to moms.
You feel me?
Yes, sir.
That's the color. Okay.
Straight
my
up.
daddy black as night.
My mama looked just like his mama. Yellow. They call her Dirty Red. That was her name, right? So she got the same treatment. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I did too. And then I'm mixed. Like, I'm Chamorro and black. So then I got it from the black side. Nigga, you not black. I'm like, all right, I'm not black. Boom, I'm taking off on, like, I'm fighting, bro. Literally fighting every other day at school. It felt like I was getting into it. My closest homies though were dark skinned. All my closest, and it's almost like I had to like prove my respect, right? It was like I proved it, and now all my closest homies that I grew up with I was the only light skinned dude in the group.
That's funny it'd be like that because I got a partner my A1 Dominique Davis. I'm sorry, name dropped you. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Dominique,
Metropolitan Police Officer.
Yes, sir.
A fantastic person. But I mean, shit, boy, he black as night. But that's my A1. You know what I'm saying? Like, and even him, like I've had, and it's so funny that it's self-racism in our culture. Man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've even had in conversation with me and him, just being funny, he be like, bro, I done seen you stand on business more than some of the blackest niggas that just be like, oh, right. I'm like, bro, I ain't never wanted to be hard, like, right. But I'm going to always demand respect.
You have
what I'm
to.
Saying? Like, I don't look for issues. Like, I actually run away. Like, I'm okay taking an L if both of us gonna live that day.
Yeah, that's a bar. That's a bar.
Because it's like motherfuckers will be quick to be like, oh, you trying to show out? Oh, okay, now I got to kill you.
Now I'm on some rah-rah. Like, and everybody
you finna go to jail. Yeah. Forever. Like, for what? Right. Like, no, that's bad, stupid. Like, that's dumb.
My pops always told me, bro, you more of a man, right? And you more of a man if you can talk your way out of a fight. And as a kid, I used to be like, what is he talking about? Like, you saying that, but they're throwing punches at me. How can I talk out of this fight? Yeah. But now I'm older, I'm like, oh, you don't always have to go to violence, man. Like, you don't got to, bro.
Raw with raw.
Nah. Like, I love you, my brother. Bro, I love you. Bro, I be nowadays, bro, like, again, where we come from, I just feel like this is what we keep. This is what's coming out, though. God is putting this on our hearts, right? As a kid, bro, like, you see another black dude and you don't know him, you kind of...
You gotta buck up.
What's up, right?
Self-defense mechanism.
It's just a thing, right, in our culture.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, now, it sucks.
Now? What up, bro? How you doing, brother? How you doing? Bro.
Salam, bologna, salami.
That's it, bologna, salami. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. I'm hitting niggas with the smile. I'm smiling. Yeah. Because it's like, why are we walking around like this? And Medine,
what's up?
I wanted to get your perspective, right? Because, like I said, Lil Marvin, you know what I'm saying? My cousin Marvin is light skinned, but he full black, right? Mm-hmm. I'm mixed. I got half and half, right? You actually from the motherland, and you coming to America, right? Like, yeah.
I was like, you gotta give him a pause every time you do that.
Yeah. I had a feeling he was gonna say something like that. It's funny though, because my name Akeem, and it's like coming to America. Like, how ironic is that? You know what I'm saying? Anyway,
yep.
You came here. You know what I'm saying? Pops came here, and it's like, and you're like first generation here. And Jonas, your big brother, probably got stories too. But you grew up here as an African. That's American. Like, I don't even know how to. What do you even? You know what I'm saying? Like, how was that?
I get first generation. I guess first generation. I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I guess my bad, not to interrupt. Yeah. Just let them know like where your family is from, like, you know what I'm saying?
Eritrea, East Africa, right next to Ethiopia.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, we came from a 30-year civil war, and that's what my parents left as refugees and came to Vegas through Catholic Charities. So being here, yeah, just growing up here, I was like American pie. Like, I mean, I had a sense of where I came from, but we just were, just baked in the cake of Americana, like living here and doing my thing. Like, and we went to events and stuff like that, and we were part of the culture. And, we sit down and they would try to teach us the language. A lot of that stuff didn't stick. Obviously, I don't speak it, but I'm going to learn it.
You don't? I didn't know that.
No, I don't speak. I'm
you understand
learning
it though?
I understand it. So I'm learning. But yeah, no, I mean, like, for me, I've run into like a lot more. I think what bothers me more, I laugh at like outright, kind of like straight up racist people. I've had people just straight up call me N-word coming off of traffic.
Yeah,
this stuff happens. But I'm talking about what bothers me, like the more subtle, stuff that happens. And it does. And it's like, when I was at Starbucks, there were milks in the fridge, and the lady was like, "Okay, do you know how to count all of the?" I'm like, "Yes, ma'am, I know how to.
No way.
I know how to count."
No way. You got a full grown beard on your face?
Yeah.
Bro.
And don't know how to count 10 milks.
This is what I'm talking about. This be happening. This be really happening, bro.
And then she probably was genuine, like, which like she was born on a barn and she ain't never seen black people with jobs type shit. That's blow me.
Yeah, so I've seen it.
Fucking me up,
I've definitely seen it. I'm not gonna pretend like I haven't.
Right.
But
Can you count those milks?
Can you count? She said that, and I stopped and looked, and I was like, "Yeah, are you
kind of like, yeah?"
That's when you should have had a dart on you.
Yeah,
I counted milk for you.
Right. God damn, bro.
Yeah, but I just was like, I just didn't take much seriously coming up. So I was really like in my own world, and then I just saw everything was like a movie, everything was like on TV.
Right.
But I got older, and then I don't know. I look at it now. I look at my situation, and I think to myself, I'm very grateful for having the opportunity to get into entrepreneurship because it's even playing field.
Yep.
Like you get to see is your hustle gonna get you where you want to be? And like I think about what Marvin was saying about how he went in there and didn't have connections from Billy and this one and that one, and in some ways that made you stronger. You know what I mean? Like for me, like that was the biggest thing. Like everything in Las Vegas is connection based and who and all that.
Yep.
And I was always doing random stuff that had nothing to do with casinos, nothing to do with, the strip. It was like backpacks and shirts and apparel and manufacturing stuff online. And because of that, it taught me that, I'm competing globally. Like I want to beat the guys in Shenzhen, China. I want to beat the guys in Australia, in, London, whatever. Like I always had like a global, because it was beat into me at a young age from like my junior year of high school,
right, about
business to compete and like really, and part of a competition is getting put into boxes or put, like that. And so now I'm kind of looking at everything, looking back at it, there is a freedom to it too. Nowadays I kind of feel more, comfortable in my own skin, more relaxed. And
that's what's up.
Any energies that fly by me, I'm like, okay, that's cool. Like I have a goal.
Did that come with age though? Do you feel like that came with like you becoming more older and mature? You feel me?
Yeah, definitely. Because I had some definitely interesting experiences. But I could say for sure that now that I know, like there's a goal to be had for me and my family, for my community, the people that are around me. Like it's very real. You kind of block out the noise. Like you get to a point where I don't care if you like me or you want me to be like
yes,
buy this thing or not.
Like, I'm gonna find the people that do. And you said something, man, that's good. But then you said something like that you knew you were competing like globally. Like at a young age, you start realizing like you were already on that. Yeah. You were already like, fuck Vegas. Yeah. It took me, and I love my city, right? But it's like we gotta. Coming from here, or just any urban city setting across the nation, I'm pretty sure people had this same crabs in the barrel feeling. You know, you can't go out without bringing your homies up. You know what I'm saying? And or you can't do something without them approving what you're doing. And I just learned that in my 30s, like my early 30s. I started realizing, like, bro, this whole time I've been trying to impress people that don't give a fuck if I make it or not,
or don't add any value to you.
No value, right?
Like if and that's the thing that I think we forget. We be trying to bring everybody with us, and not everybody wants to go.
Facts.
Like some people, a lot of people, a majority of them
exactly,
are stagnant and okay. Like they're complacent. They've been sold the dream of this is just good enough to give you what you want,
right?
And it's like it's so much more out there that we're deserving of.
Yeah.
But like now, like being in my 30s now, it makes me realize like school was like just another jail.
Yep.
And all these people that are in positions running businesses and stuff like that, their families just took life a little bit more serious and were put in better positions.
Yeah.
Like we don't know about trusts. We don't know about like credit and, you know, what having LLCs, opportunity, like none of that stuff. Like we weren't instilled with that information. We were instilled with the slavery mentality.
Yeah.
It seems like the strong house or the strong, you know, field nigga, and just go out and be the best physically at what you can do. Don't think about running.
Don't think about none of that.
Don't fill out no paper. But if you're the strongest, you gonna get it, G.
Yeah.
But it's like, nah, why? Because we all eventually lose strength and all that youth has to be transitioned into something wiser when you get older, because it's going to become now, okay, you ain't useful no more. You can't pick up 30 pounds of this rate and this all day, and it's like now you're less valued, and now it's like now you give attitude and you be upset and negative about life. It's like ain't nobody gonna choose you. And now you get on social media and you want to cry about how the world has treated you, and it's like you didn't put yourself in
that position.
To win,
exactly, bro. The words say the lack of knowledge we are destroyed. You know what I'm saying? Like if we don't know. If we don't know why we so, you know what I'm saying? We just working out, hitting weights.
Yeah.
But we don't know why our muscles are growing. We just know I just got to hit these weights, but we don't know the workings of why. Yeah. It's like, bro, what are we really doing? Like you said, when you get old, it's like you can't do all that. Everybody want to be a basketball player. Like right now, I'm literally telling my son, I'm like, bro, play baseball. Cuz everybody he loves sports. Okay, you like sports, that's cool. Play baseball. Play soccer. Yeah. Fuck football. Longevity. Fuck basketball. Like everybody want to do that. It's It's overrated. You got more of a chance to go to the MLB than you do the NFL, and that's just facts. You know what I'm saying? It's like, go do that. You know what I'm saying? I like waking up people to like, yo, there's other opportunities out there. Like use your brain. Like let's think about this, right? So another thing is too, what you said, Marvin. You were saying that people like. So earlier you were saying about adversity and how when you start going through things, right? And what I notice is a lot of people run away from me. Yeah. They run away from adversity, right? So like all the things that I'm doing right now, I'm sure all the things that y'all got going from the outside, it's like, dang, how is he doing all this? Or why is he doing all this? But they don't know there's a lot of work that goes behind it. Or they do know and they felt it and they were like, I can't do that. Yeah. And now they're sitting on the sidelines like, damn.
And it be like that sometimes. And like because of what I went, like people don't understand, like that cry I went through when I sold cars and was told either I can go back or go forward.
Yeah.
That changed my perspective on everything. Yeah. It's either you can go, like at the end of the day, if you are resourceful enough, you gonna find another job. It's a ton of them out there.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like some of us don't go for the goal of really like freedom, career, like ownership, like, and that's really where it's at. But once again, I just feel like we weren't taught that. Like if you didn't go to private school and you wasn't around the right people, like you just ain't gonna pick that up. And like I said, I was blessed by being in the car business, not because that's where I was destined to learn that from, but because coincidentally, just being in that position and being open-minded to opportunities, I was given this bonus quest
that part.
of, oh well, let me show you how to be a salesperson.
Don't just slide over that part of you putting yourself in that. You put yourself in that. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You prepared. You were in that position, and you got blessed with the opportunity. That's literally how it works. Yeah. Like you gotta put yourself out there. Yeah. And that's what I tell people all the time. Everybody, opportunities are for everybody. Right.
And they just have to see you.
Right. That's it.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. Like I think there's something that I found out about that, because I like to sit around and just think about, you know, like when there's sayings or expressions that get popular, like why are they so popular, and expand on them. Because like we say, put yourself out there, right? That is a concept that when you tell even like myself or anybody, you know, like to do that, how it could just throw people off. Like there's no way I'm doing that, or it just instantly sets fear in people. Right. But I like to think of it differently. I think like when you have somebody you love, and then there's a Mack truck coming at like 100 miles per hour down the road, and you see that person that you love there, you're gonna put yourself out there. When you see something that you're gonna sacrifice or deal with whatever comes, because it's important enough to you and it means something to you, that you'll put yourself out there. But you got to get to a point where like you got to have you've heard this a million times, like have your why and all that. But if you definitely have to have a why. But like that's why I love I'm passionate. My passion really comes when I find people who are, maybe they don't have a lot of resources or tools, but they felt inspired by God to do something. It could be something little. Like I have a friend who makes little mochi donuts, and then I have somebody else who does like, you know, she does T-shirts, and somebody else. But when those little things, I get so passionate about it, because that person, that's such a pure experience that they created something, they thought of it, and they putting it out there, and they may not have support, they may not have. So I will. That's the Mack truck.
Nah, for sure.
Me, you know what I'm saying? Like,
when I see kids, right? Like kids, I'm talking about like 8 years old, 9 years old. I live in the hood. You know where we at. Where we recording, this is the hood. Like right down the street, it's like they shooting. Like every night, it's Ghetto Bird out. You feel me? Like I'm on the east side. Yeah, just so y'all know. We on the east side, man. Like for real. So when I see kids, right, and I see that in them, like there be kids on the corner, bro. Like instead of asking for money, these niggas out here selling waters and chips. Nigga, every time I'm buying a water and chip, I don't care. I might not even buy it. I might just shoot them in Cash App, because in our culture, bro, we gotta embrace them kids, man. Because them kids, if they don't get it from us, they're getting it from their homies. That's like, bro, what are you doing? Like you look stupid. Like you look dumb. Because I heard the same things. You're crazy. It's never gonna work. They hearing all this. So it's like when I see them kids, man, and they got that pure passion and that God-given joy and talent and entrepreneurship in them, I gotta bless them, bro.
It's not only just definitely like that's the kids inspire us, and they when they do that to you and they show you that they're, you know, that's like God on earth right there. Man. But what I was gonna say is like it can even be like when I used to work in my old job at a tech company, there was like 56-year-old like white dudes who would confide in me about the dreams that they want to do, and sometimes it'd be like the most simplest stuff, and I'm like, why not just do this and maybe do this, and you know, so it just gets me into that mode. Like, okay, here you can get this. I'm gonna call this person. You know, like I don't know why that is, but to me that is awesome, and definitely for the kids, what they need is, you know, some guidance and some support. So when you come along and you bring them a little bit of cash, and that goes
a long way. Yeah, that could change their whole life. Mm-hmm. If you like, nah, get up out of here, like go get a real job. You tell them, imagine, because I was that kid. I had all these ideas, but I used to be scared of what everybody thought. I'd be scared about what everybody thought, and then I had parents, right, who set out on their entrepreneurship journey and it failed, right? So then I would hear these things of like, it ain't gonna work. It's not gonna work. Don't do that. You know, it's like a fear, that fear. And that's like, nah, we can't live with fear, dog. Like, you gotta let fear go. Fear stops everything from happening, dog. Like, you're afraid of what people think. You know, like, why does
But to that point, the fear part, you have to have something that's greater than that you love so much to be able to counterbalance that fear. Yeah. Because it's like you thinking like immediately start calculating everything that's going to cost you, who's going to say what, and all of that. But if you have something that you believe in enough, then it just is like, okay, well, so yeah, you shouldn't have fear, but you also should have something you love more than what you're afraid of.
Facts.
Like, and I'm not trying to, but I'm just trying to like add to what you're saying. Like,
that's good.
So people can get that perspective too. It's like when it comes to entrepreneurship, yeah.
It's all fear.
Yeah.
You face fear every day. Every day I wake up, I'm looking like, damn, what am I know I got to make this money. We got to make it work. You know what I'm saying?
And what's crazy is like, even though, I mean, no matter what, you need a team. And I think that's
good.
Yes.
We just was talking about that. Me and Nadine.
We fail to realize that as Black people, like, no matter how successful you want to be as a solo entity, like, you need a team. Like, even the highest paid companies have a team of people behind them. Like, so it just, you have to be more open-minded, but then you have to also do your due diligence on who you deal with. Because a lot of people be so quick to just hop on board with any and everything, they expedite their failure. Because it's like, a lot of people sound good when they talk, but it's like, what have you proven
Where's
to
the
me
execution at?
where, like, what you're saying is valid enough to where I'm going to just give you the keys and reins to everything. Like, no, that's not how it go. But you also have to be, like, you have to be open-minded to see from other perspectives.
Yeah, no,
and that's why I always harp on, like, literally, we're all different. Like, if we're standing in a room, I heard somebody say this before. If we're standing in a room and you're on one side and I'm on the other, and we both see something happen, we see two different perspectives of what happened prior to why it happened. Yep. So, like, I could have seen them arguing on this side of the club, and you could have seen them kissing on this side of the club. But before, old girl walked away, smack on the cheek, being extra, but it's playful. But now your assumption is, oh, she the aggressor. That's it. That's got to be the person that started why they fight now. And it's like, you never know. Like, you just always have to find all the facts first before you invest all your energy and pick sides. Motherfuckers be ready to pick sides and be on the wrong side.
That's true. That's true.
So, like, I'm not finna jump.
Finna crash out.
I'm not finna jump on the loser team, like, just because me and you grew up together. Like, bro, at this point, you tripping. You emotional, and you should reevaluate what's going on.
Right.
And some people ain't comfortable telling people that. And it's like, before you get me involved, no, let's both sit and talk about this before, because this is invested time that I'm never gonna get back.
And that's why I love, like, how this all came about. You know what I'm saying? Because it was a lot of, this ain't just happened. No. Like, we've been talking about this I've been prepping and thinking and praying and doing everything that I do before I jump on something, before I execute something. Yeah. This ain't just anything I get into, anything y'all get into, we gonna put it in. You know what I'm saying? We gonna 100%. Actually put in 100% in. And another thing is, like you were saying, it's like, I come from a team background. Like, you know what I'm saying? I got two big brothers. Everything they needed to do, I'm like, yes, sir, 10 hut. What you need, bro? I got you, right? Yeah. So there was a fear that came involved when I started putting myself on social media, and I was like, or even before that, when I was doing burgers and everything else that I've done, right? There was a fear that started coming where it's like, bro, I ain't never been here. Like, I'm used to taking the command. Yeah. I'm used to, you know what I mean? What do you need? What do you need, bro? You need water? What what?
See, but you stay humble in all those instances. Yeah. So that's why everything has come full circle for you. People forget being humble is what continues the cycle of things happening good in your life. It's when you start smelling your own shit, like as a teenager, and you start acting out and shit, like, motherfuckers will start running the business and start acting out like, oh, like, this is my shit. I started this. And it was like, well, you wasn't in here flipping burgers for that angry customer that just smashed me in the face, but you was running everything in this motherfucker. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's levels to just everything, and you got to appreciate everybody who's put in on their part. You know what I'm saying? Not just what made you the successor. Like, no matter what, you got to always remember, like, this shit can get taken away just as fast as you get it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
just like that.
Like,
I've been there. Yeah. I didn't hit the bro. I was home. We were homeless for like 4 days before we bought this house. Yeah. Like, let's not. That's another thing. It's like, bro, sometimes you gotta hit that bottom. You gotta sit your ass down. You know what I'm saying? God will sit you down. Yeah. God will sit you down if you don't yourself. Like, He gonna sit you down and be like, look at yourself. Yeah. and let's fix this. You know what I'm saying? Like, we done been there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Some people can't bounce back from that, and some people can't go through that either. So that's why they're comfortable in that gray area of, I'll tolerate the bullshit, but I'm kind of tired of it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so it's like you got to make the leap of either fully invest in something or just shut the fuck up and stay in the background and continue to go through what you want to go through. But if you gonna ask for help, change your ways. Don't ask for help and then go back to doing the exact same thing. Like, help me with my jumper, but I want to shoot left-handed, but I'm right-handed.
Right.
But you go back to shooting the same way after hours of going, and I'm teaching you this new thing. Like, no, nigga, what the fuck is that motherfucker?
That's so good. That's good, because it's like every time I ask for something and then I get it right, and then I realize I'm complaining about that I have it. You know what I'm saying? Then I'm like, but you asked for this.
Yeah.
I always remind myself, you asked for this.
Yeah.
You asked for this, so you better make it work. Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Because when God give you them blessings, and you literally are like, you see it, and you know it's for this podcast. Yeah. I knew God was telling me, you need to start a podcast. Yeah. I don't know why. God was like, just do it. Yeah. Just do it, right? And it's like, bro, I could either be like, nah, I'm cool where I'm at. Like, I don't want to do all that. That's a lot of responsibility, right? Or I could be like, bro, I gotta take it head on. I gotta face them fears. I gotta get uncomfortable. Yeah. Because people see me on camera as a DJ, and I'm smiling, and I'm ha, right? But these conversations we just had that we're gonna be having are not ha. Yeah, so we're putting ourselves in a whole nother way to be looked at for the internet or whoever's out there to see us and be like, and judge us even more. Yeah. So when you see what's gonna happen, like, and if you contemplate on things before you move, like I do, you're gonna take all that into account and be like, is this really? And then as soon as you hear God be like, yo, this is it, and then you got to move on it.
And but the thing about it too is like, yes, that is true. And what I discovered is like that. There's no way I would have done this if it wasn't with y'all. Like, you know, like that's the thing is that y'all can have some opinions that I don't agree with at all, or I can have something.
Facts.
But it's like, whatever it is, we realize that what he just said about team is that it takes other people to bring out the best in you. And they may not fit in the mold of what exactly you like or what you want or what you think or like we said, maturity, you know what I mean? Like just this understanding that like if we want to get ahead in this life and really be able to make something great happen, we got to take a lot of risk, you know, like and like working with me or like when I was making your t-shirts or working with him and then we're doing sales and stuff like that or whatever it is, there is a lot of inherent risk in that, you know, posting this online, see what people think about it, you know, like individually and as a group. But to me, it's like overall the net positive is there. It's just like we're all going to be able to find a way to, you know, come up because they were putting this good energy out.
I feel like the root of this podcast is to help people, bro. To have those conversations that people are uncomfortable with talking about. Like, bro said he cried. Like, that's not normal for a black man to say on camera yet alone, just period, right? And that's okay. Like, people need to hear these things because we do cry. We're emotional. Like, there's certain things that we need to talk about that I feel like we just don't talk about.
Especially as black men. Like, I feel like we have, by default, been programmed to take on all the responsibility of everything in the world. Like, you ever walk in people's houses or the swap meet and you see that picture of the dude, you know, bent back.
Yes.
With the world
yes.
Yeah.
That was in my mama's house.
Yeah, that is something that I feel like because it was in our houses, like, and little black boys, we're grown, our process to live like that. Take everything, and even if you don't like it, just put it on your back.
Where did that even come from?
I don't know. I almost feel like you should burn that motherfucker down. Because
I know exactly what you're talking about. Cub was like,
I am curious.
Got a on his back. Like,
weight of the world.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like the weight of the world is like, it's really out here for real. Like, but for us, I think it's more than ever. And then social media has taken this genuine sincerity of being like, bro, sometimes I can't handle life like I want to. Like, nigga, sometimes I want to go and cry, but then you labeled us sassy and
bitch.
You know, a bitch.
Yes,
a bitch is a nigga.
Right, he's a bitch ass nigga. What you over there? Shut your bitch ass up crying.
You want me to do?
Bro, I done heard that growing up. You know how many times my brother was like, shut your bitch ass up crying. I'm like,
But it hurt, motherfucker.
Right?
Like, but
and I get the they're trying to build us up to be able to navigate this world as black men. I get it. Of course,
but it's even we got chinks in our armor too.
Yeah,
and it's
for
like
sure.
it's okay to go and repair yourself.
Right.
But it's like, but you gotta do it fast.
Yeah.
Because nigga, the world on your head like stank on shit.
But
so then you can't give them another chance. So
but realistically, is it? No.
Bruh.
Where does that come from, bro?
Like that. We're expedited to do everything the fastest and most perfect.
That's why I be get off your phone.
Yeah.
Sometimes just get off your phone. Go connect. That's why I got a whole garden in the back, bro. Yeah. Like, I be disconnecting. I be like, I need to get up out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is wild because we getting hit.
Brother, we getting hit. Like, it's reprogramming the world to think that it's okay to just... Because a million motherfuckers say something and likes and thumbs up.
Yeah.
Like, that's the truth.
Right.
And it's like, what the fuck did any 996,000 of you bitches do any facts and place it? It's like, no, my sister said. Bitch, I don't care about your sister or your brother. Give me facts behind all this stuff, not just your raw emotion.
And I think it's our age. Like, we understand that, right? Mm-hmm. And that's why I'm so scared of these young. I'm just scared. I just be like, golly, I'll be praying for my kids. I just try to build them up and give them that, because we grew up in a different age, bro. Like, we grew up before the internet, but we're like in the internet. Half of our life is in the internet, half of it was out of the internet, right? So we know that old school way of like,
but all they know
we know before the internet. That's all they know, right?
And it's crazy that you say it, because I know some youngsters that's like, boy, loving hip hop bitches. They be like, I want a girl like. I'm like, bruh, get off of that.
Right.
Like, that ain't realistic.
Go outside. Where they at?
Yeah, bruh, they used to be at the Meadows Mall
you know
when I was. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You don't want that.
But it's like
they're on the Blade,
bruh.
I'll show you where they at.
Yeah,
they right here. They right up the street.
But you getting Lisa and all them from loving hip hop.
Go get you a Proverbs 31 woman. Go get you a woman that inside. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at the inside, bro.
Yeah.
I got so much to talk about that, because it's like, bruh, y'all over here looking at what? Yeah. That's why you attracted to this female? Like really?
That, like, it's crazy when I used to hear females call themselves Barbie dolls and stuff like that. I'm like, well, you want me to treat you like a toy then?
Right. Hey, ooh, that's good.
Like, okay,
that's
like
good.
That's really like I'm not labeling myself as a Ken doll, and I want you to treat me like treat me as the man I am. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, but all that extra nicknames and all that. No, bitch,
yeah, I'll be disgusted these days. I ain't even gonna cap. I'll be disgusted. Baddies. I'll be like, y'all really? She's the devil.
Yeah,
she's the devil.
Hey, cancel me, man.
Yeah,
she the devil, bro. She look like the devil. She's literally commanding these females to fight on camera, and then like, no. And then what are we really doing out here? You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to pinpoint just the females, because it's young niggas out here on the same. They on the other opposite. They got problems too.
I'm most scared.
You know what I'm saying? They got problems too.
The new generation of black men, they're just overran with emotion.
Yeah.
Like, I ain't never been in that. Look, I've had a female spit in my face, and I've yet to ever put my hands on a female. So for me, even at a young age, it was just like, science tells me that I'm stronger than you. So anything physically I do to you, it's gonna come with consequences.
Yeah, that's a fact.
I'm knocking your block off. So, like, I'm not even gonna put myself in a position. I don't care what you do to me, unless, bitch, you been to cut me or stab me, then I might give you a bing bap boom.
Right.
But all that extra, you being emotional, it's like,
nah,
but
that's good.
you can't antagonize and then not expect consequences.
Right.
And that's what, like, females is so manly now. It's like, they'll buck up on you so quick.
I'll be like, ugh. That's so unattractive. Right.
I'm like, damn,
it's funny, right? It's funny because my wife, she grew up with nothing but boys, right? So she's naturally more like, she's a tomboy. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's why I'm more, because she's emotional, but like, she turns it on and off. You know what I'm saying? So I don't gotta be super like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
she a little bit more logical about what you think about and how you think about it, because she been around boys.
Exactly. It gets a little bit uncomfortable, because sometimes she be like a little like, not even uncomfortable. What's the word? It's like, sometimes she'll get into her woman, you know, her femininity or whatever it's called. You feel me? She'll get into that, and I'll be like, what the. Like, like, who is this? Like, you know what I'm saying? I'll be like, oh, and then I gotta adjust.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or she'll be like, she don't, like, for it's like females that's like super manly, she'll say something like, yeah, she should have got hit or something, and it'll make me feel uncomfortable, but then I'll realize, like, damn, you're right. Like, you know, like, you're right. Like you're a female that's a man. Like, and there's some things that she'll tell me this. Like, there's things that I can't do as a woman, and I'll be like, there's some things that I can't do as a man. We'll end it right here.
Okay.
We'll end it right here. Yeah, we'll end it right here, man. So yeah, man. We're gonna get up out of here. Shout out to everybody that's tuned in right now. This is the Upper Hand Podcast. Shout out to my cousin Marvin, aka Yella.
Yes,
shout out to my cousin Medine. Drop your socials real quick. Let's try.
Dino the Jedi with a 0.
There you go.
Yellow Boy 702 on IG. So yeah, you can follow me on there. I be ignorant and shit. So.
Yes, sir, man. You can follow me, Upper Hand King. Appreciate y'all, man. Keep going, bro. Love y'all, man. Thank y'all for coming, bro. For real.
Appreciate it,
man. Thank you.
Look forward to more of these.
Yes, sirski.